tragic death of Matthew Perry taking a new twist this week. Federal investigators revealing a web of people motivated by greed, including two doctors who they say took advantage of the vulnerable actor, allegedly supplying him with lethal amounts of ketamine, as well a well-known party drug, but also primarily a medication that's used for anesthesia and in recent years prescribed as an alternate treatment for depression.
Matthew Perry sought treatment for depression and anxiety and went to a local clinic where he became addicted to intravenous ketamine. When clinic doctors refused to increase his dosage, he turned to unscrupulous doctors who saw Perry as a way to make quick money.
Among the other three charged is an acquaintance of Perry's, along with Hollywood's alleged Ketamine Queen, Jasveen Sangha. That acquaintance said to have bought the dose, that killed Perry from Sangha. And new tonight, a Washington woman saying that same so-called Ketamine Queen also sold the drug to her brother. Today, we have learned she is charged in connection with his death, too. 33-year-old Cody McLaury died of an overdose 5 years ago in August 2019 in Los Angeles County after allegedly taking ketamine he bought from Jasveen Sangha, the so-called Ketamine Queen. After McLaury's death, his sister, who lives in Southwest Washington, says she got his phone back from police and found a text chat involving Sangha. She says she texted her and told Sangha the drugs she sold her brother, Cody, killed him. Sangha never responded, but investigators now say records show Sangha did a Google search for "Can ketamine be listed as a cause of death?" The Department of Justice tells King 5 Sangha is now charged with distribution of ketamine resulting in death in relation to McLaury's overdose. That is in addition to the charges in Matthew Perry's death. If convicted, Sangha would face a mandatory minimum sentence of 10 years and a maximum sentence of life in federal prison. Okay, so as these cases come to light, we turn to UW's Dr. Vin Gupta, also an NBC News medical analyst. Dr. Gupta, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks so much, Jessica, for having me.
So, Dr. Gupta, illicit or otherwise, how widespread is ketamine use across the U.S.?
You know, unfortunately, I think specific numbers, Jessica, we just don't have a sense of it, but it has grown, this illicit use of it, across the country. Unfortunately, here in our local area, but frankly, just across the country, these illicit sources. And as we've seen, unscrupulous doctors prescribing it for non-FDA approved reasons. It's important for your viewers to realize that for treatment-resistant depression, a form of ketamine that's inhaled via a nasal spray has been FDA approved in 2019, but you have to get it through your psychiatrist or your primary care physician, and there's only one form of it. All other forms, intravenous, oral, those that are available on the black market, are not approved for the purposes of any treatment of any underlying condition. But unfortunately, that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of unapproved uses of this and black market uses of ketamine.
Yeah, doctor, can you explain what the effects of ketamine are on the body, and does it differ based on the way you take it?
Absolutely. And so, you know, I'm an ICU physician, so we use ketamine all the time in the hospital for sedation. And so it's primarily a sedative, something that's going to allow you to potentially tolerate a medical procedure, but it needs to be administered with strict vital sign monitoring. So that's something that we do within the four walls of a hospital. But it can cause respiratory depression. It can cause you to stop breathing. It can cause your blood pressure to really go very low. It's given in doses that are not properly protocolized, if not properly calibrated. And so that's the problem here. What Matthew Perry took was unsubstantiated, was unregulated. We have no idea the actual dose of ketamine that he received, obviously quite high. And that's the issue here. There's so many sources of ketamine with doses that are not clear that can cause these serious side effects.
And obviously, doctor, we don't know exactly how much you took. And as you mentioned, if you're taking a high dose, it can be lethal. But how often is ketamine lethal?
You know, when administered appropriately under FDA-approved guidelines, it's not lethal because those of us that are trained in its administration know how to administer it, and it actually can be quite safe under the right protocols. And again, let me emphasize this. We talked about this over the course of the week, actually, ever since the news yesterday was brought to light, that there is an FDA-approved use of inhaled ketamine through the nose for treatment-resistant depression, but that is a specific form of it, and that's safe under the right circumstances, as it is safe a version of ketamine within a hospital setting. What's happening here, if you are not receiving ketamine through your physician for an FDA-approved indication, treatment-resistant depression, that's the only reason. And it should be an inhaled version of it. You should not be taking oral ketamine for any reason. You should not be taking IV ketamine for any reason outside of a hospital. There should be no reason why that should be the case. So if you're receiving that version of ketamine from anybody, it's not an FDA-approved version of it. It's not something that is safe for you to take, and you should not be taking it.
Yeah, we can't stress that enough, and I thank you for reiterating that. Dr. Vin Gupta, thank you so much for being with us this afternoon and for your time.
Thank you.